Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the
Hey,
Consistently Rolling Show. I am consistent.
and me, I am in Lil. What's up? What's up?
Hi, how are you today?
Working. You know what I'm saying? Riding down this road in this rain. You know what I'm saying? Drinking a Red Bull. Trying to, trying, trying to go to A and B and back to A real safe. Doing
All
good
right.
today. So I guess today is what we doing today. Open conversation Friday like we normally do. See, people, our listeners got to understand something that you know. My best friend calls me on the phone. We sitting there, we just get into these open conversations. Then we get into a full blooded battle, because she never everything I say. You know, sometimes
So you're breaking up. Can't really hear you. So, I don't know what you were trying to say, but like you said, we go through this back and forth thing. We agree to disagree. Sometimes we are good, sometimes we're not. Hopefully, Enlil will come back. Today is open topic. We're going to talk about a few things. We hope that you guys join us or enjoy the conversation. I'm going to put this disclaimer out here while we wait for Enlil to get his technical difficulties together. This is all of our opinion. This is what we feel. This is what we think. Please don't judge us off of our hearts. We just want to give information out to the world with people who think like us or think outside the box more than us. We are welcome to questions and answers and anything that you could give us as far as information, any questions that you have to ask. If we have that information, we are more than willing to share, and we pray and ask that you do the same. But again, please don't judge us upon our hearts. And Lil,
that's right. You can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
You can, oh, okay. I heard the whole disclaimer and everything. I don't know where I'm at. I haven't been to the curb yet, although I was on some kind of curb. It's dark, so I can't see. But anyway, yeah, I heard the whole disclaimer.
Okay.
So yeah. So I mean, did you hear the whole part when I said that you know, you and I conversate, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff like that.
No, I
Disagree.
didn't.
I gave a whole Martin Luther King speech. Y'all didn't hear?
No,
I had a
we didn't.
dream. Y'all didn't hear that speech?
No, we did not.
About 30 seconds. Y'all about not to hear it again.
Okay.
But I'm on my tablet though. I might be good. It's the cell phone service here near Hereford, Maryland.
Oh,
Um, there's a certain area because Maryland has these lava fields from billions of years old from where there was a volcano. And when you go through certain parts of the lava field here on 83, um, it distorts the signal. And there's one spot here that just kills it.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not there yet. I'm about 15 seconds from there. But but yeah. Anyway, so like I said, this is open Friday conversation. Did you hear that part?
I heard that part.
Yeah, when we say me and my friend be on the phone with open conversations, and then we get into a battle where we disagree with each other and agree to each other. Then we do our research, stuff like that. You heard that part too?
No, we didn't.
Okay, yeah. So that's what's going on today, folks. It's open conversation Friday between me and my bestie. Like we normally do. We get on the phones, we have our conversations, and we disagree, agree, and so forth, and we find some interesting stuff out that conversation we be having. In fact, we do a lot of research on our conversations too, as well, to back
Yeah,
our
like for instance, which I'm gonna put this one out here because we were talking about this yesterday. So maybe anybody will give us
uh
some type of feedback about this. We were talking about the firmament, weren't we, yesterday?
yes.
Um
Can you hear me?
and
Can you?
yeah, well, basically, well, not really, but basically, my theory was, we developed the firmament when sin was developed, or what we call sin was developed, and maybe after what is his name, Enoch,
Yep.
went to heaven. And there's a book. I'm not sure if it is the Jubilee or the other one that talks about how Enoch left, and he left with some people, but he came back. And when he came back, he was asking a certain amount of people to go with him again. But they didn't want to at this particular time. So when Enoch left the second time, these men went to go look for him the next day. And what I would assume to be the Antarctica, it was filled with ice when they got there. So that was just a theory. If anybody has any information about that, I would more than welcome that, because I'm so interested in that part.
Yeah. What little research I did on the firmament was so I didn't really hear about the firmament until well, of course I heard it in Catholic in church Sunday school, but I didn't really hear about it until the flat earthers started coming more popular quite a few years ago, when they started talking about the flat earth and the firmament. That's when I was aware of it. And then when I did do a little research into the firmament, it was I know it exists in every religion. Every religion talks about it. Every religion talks about the firmament, and they all describe it pretty much the same way and everything. So, but that's about as far as I went into it, I don't want to start an argument on it if I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, So yes, if anybody got any information, or you and I would do some research on it later on this week or weekend, we can really dig into it, because I'm pretty sure it's out there.
Yeah.
Or I got an idea. We just build a rocket and shoot up there ourselves and find out.
Wouldn't it be nice? But I don't need the government after my behind. I'm sorry.
We just don't tell them. That's all. We don't tell them nothing. But basically, I just did, because we're like streaming across the air, right?
Exactly.
What's up, CIA? Yeah. Oh my God.
So today.
Huh?
So what is in today's news that you have heard or that was interesting to you?
Well, let's see. Biden's still a child molester, so that's still going on. And so let's talk about let's do our regular talk. Let's talk about some things that we haven't talked about yet. Okay. So we talked about the LGBT and the gays and all that kind of stuff. We talked about that, right? Transgender and everything. We haven't talked about interracial relationships.
Oh, when we talk about relationships, we have to talk about it in a whole aspect, not just
But listen, there's only one aspect when if a black man or a black woman dates a white man or a white woman. There's a whole thing about that. Because see, you want to put your 2 cents in it first, or you want me to put my 2 cents in it first?
But I don't really want to touch that, because if we're going to talk about relationships,
back it up.
If we're going to talk about relationships, we would have to talk about not just interracial relationships.
No. I ain't what I said. I said I want to talk about the interracial mingling relationships or whatever. It's a topic that people have their opinions on, but do not want to discuss it. So I want to discuss it. You don't want to talk about it? Now I really want to talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it like we always do. So okay, let me put my little 2 cents into it, right? Okay. When it comes to me, I'm not speaking for every man in America. Every man has their own opinions. Some of them are bitter, some of them are, whatever. Me, from my perspective, only speaking for myself, when it comes to me dating outside of and holding my quotation when I say it, I hate saying this because it sounds so freaking stupid when humans do this, but when it comes to race, different race of people, and I'm holding my quotation because that, you and I both know race doesn't exist, but when it comes to race people, I have a preference on who I like to be with, whether it's friendship, intimate, whatever, relationship, marriage, whatever. Little background, I pretty much dated all quote unquote race or cultures, black, Puerto Rican, white, a little bit of everything, So and I'm a stay out here as a man, you as a whole species, you women are all the same, some different than the other, but you're all the same. But when it comes to me, when it comes to dating women a lighter or darker or fair color, It is my preference. It is my God-given right. And I said it before, it is a shame that one human judge another human solely off of the color of the skin without even knowing that person. That to me shows a lack of intelligence and ignorance. If a certain ethnic group, color people say, "Oh, don't do this. You should stick with your own kind," you are no better than the Ku Klux Klan saying the same thing. You're promoting the same thing. That's just my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I will say this. I have never dated outside of my race, so I really don't have an opinion about it. But as a Black woman, I guess the way that we are raised, we're supposed to feel a certain kind of way about it because our Black man has went to a different race. Again, like you said, we know that there is no race, period. But I guess the stain that we have from the history that we have with let's just say the white race specifically, there lies the problem.
Yep. I understand that because I did some in-depth research on that too. Why do the Black Americans, even though nobody on this planet right now has experienced slavery or know anybody who was chained up and brought here as a slave? Nobody. But yet people feel that effect as if it happened to them or their mother or their father. So then that's when science kicked in. They say, well, it's genetics. It's passed down through our genes, where we can literally feel the pain of our ancestors who were whipped, tied, raped, murdered, and lynched, and everything like that. But also at the same time, before you start saying about the other race or other ethnic group of people, you might want to check your own DNA because your great 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 grandfather might have been the slave owner instead of the slave itself. Just because you got to know, we all know that non-color people cannot make a color person.
I mean, we can get in depth with this, which I really would love to dive into the race thing a whole lot more because I have been a little bit well educated about this on kind of, but right now.
Y'all hear that voice? Look at that. I love that. Y'all hear that? That's why I love that.
Like, because because of the things that I have learned, I personally, let me put it this way. I am growing to a space to understand that there is absolutely no race but the human race. We are all one species. Exactly. But like you said, the problem is the constant education that we have gotten on our history. Let's put the guidance that we got on our history because there's a lot more than what we absolutely know, and it's out there and it's beautiful. Exactly. And it really really is absolutely amazing when you finally get to know it. But still growing and trying to transition into a better person, I'm not there yet, so I still have that. I still have that. What they did to my ancestors. So that's the problem.
Exactly. But see, here's where another thing with that as well. The institutions that teaches this, like Black history and everything, slaves, they didn't tell a full story about slaves because at one point in time, slaves rose up. They were killing people and their masters. How you think everybody in the South, Black families?
The problem is, if you want to start, we're not supposed to even start with slavery. That's what I mean when I say the knowledge of your total history is that's where I'm at with it. Like,
now we talk about the motherland.
That's where they started with us is slavery. We got that. We have these stains or emotions and all that stuff because they started our history with slavery, and that's not where it started at.
Right. Right. That's exactly right. Yeah, they started it there, but we know it didn't start there.
Right,
It started way back there. Woo, this goose is cooking today. Goose is cooking
right.
today. What other sore spot I can hit you on real quick?
Let's
Hmm.
not, because you're really testing the
Look,
emotions today.
let's talk about Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus. Let's talk about Jesus here. My mother, the beautiful black queen that she is, had this blonde haired, blue eyed Jesus hanging up on her wall. And maybe last summer I went to her house and I questioned her about that. Like, why do you have this man up on your wall? And you know what she said to me? You leave my Jesus alone. I said, that's not your Jesus. In
That's the
fact, that's not
Jesus
your name.
that we know.
That's the Jesus that we were indoctrinated with by the institutions and the people who gave us that name, Naga.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that came from. See, this is where I get confused, right? So African Americans or Black Americans, I forgot Messy Jesse James started that African American bull crap. But Black Americans, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are so bitter when it comes to when it comes to the multicultural, black and white, right? They're very, very bitter about that. The white man, F the white man, the white man did this to us, white man did that. They raised, they enslaved our people, all this kind of stuff. But then they turn right around, drop the knees, place a white Jesus. Explain that. And they hold on to that Jesus. Even till today. Even till right now today. The darkest melanated people, men and women, brothers and sisters, hold on to the white Jesus, but yet you hate the white man. Explain that.
I listen.
Yeah.
You're asking me questions. You're
It's
asking me questions. You're asking me questions
I'm
that
asking the audience questions. Leave a comment.
hey, I got it. I get it. I'm here with you.
I'm just trying to make you aware. I'm just trying to raise awareness of what we are doing as people. What we are doing. You gotta understand something. Who actually taught us this stuff? Did you know that the Ku Klux Klan was invented by the CIA back in the 1946, 46, 47, something like that?
I got a question for you. Where are the robes?
The robes,
they are not in thrift stores. They're not getting sold for auction. Where they at? Where they at?
I get what you're saying. You know, all these years, thousands, hundreds of thousands of Ku Klux Klan all over the United States, marched all over the place in the thousands. And today, you're right, we don't see now one single outfit of any of them. Because the reason why we don't see them in thrift stores and Craigslist and stuff like that, because they still got them in their closets, they still got them in their dresser drawers, they still hanging them up. Just because they got rid of the outfits, don't mean that they got rid of that part of the culture. And my whole point is that they hold on to that stuff. That's fine. They can hold on to it because that's all they have. That's all the people have is just that. The clans only have white. That's it. They don't have nothing else. That's why they're so violent, right? So that's why they're killers. But my concern is for all the melanated people who are falling under the rules that was made by them, and we're doing it. The CIA, the secret, the FBI, all of them, the whole alphabet crew. Start all this stuff. How do we get the drugs in our neighborhood? How do we get the diseases in our stuff? Why did they send out most of the black men into Vietnam? It's a whole stuff like that. We as people today have to re-educate, re-advise, and teach our kids differently than what we're thinking. We have to. We have to, because eventually race or color won't make a difference, because I bet you if another country come in and start killing everybody, we won't be no racism then. You'll stand right next to that white man with a gun and shoot along with him. I guarantee it.
Well, this is what brings up when people say, well, this brilliant man said that We have to know the difference between allies, enemies, and friends. Because your ally can turn into your enemy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Meaning, like for instance, when Russia helped us fight that other country, and then we turned around after getting beat, that country helped us and was fighting against Russia. So we have to learn the difference between what allies, friends, and enemies are.
Right, 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 right. So it is safe to say that we as a people need to really open up our eyes to what we're doing. I mean, because let's be real, let's be honest with you. When someone's called when a Caucasian do or say something to a black person, it is racist and racist motivated. Even if it wasn't, let's just say a black man walked down the street, no, just a regular old dude. He saw a white guy he didn't like, he smacked the shit out of him. Then a white guy beat the shit out of him. That's racism for the white guy. You understand? That part we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of that. We need to see us as people. We have good people, we have bad people. That's it. You know, because why do we don't do the same thing when it comes to breeding dogs? I'm gonna crossbreed a blue nose pit with a white pit, you know,
Mm.
or red pit. Like what? Well, it doesn't make a difference between a dog. They still pit. They still do the same thing. So no, so we as a people need to really, and I'm just raising awareness here and starting shit, and I'm starting stuff and picking you off on Friday because it is the Friday. I like to pick you off on Fridays, so
Man,
I like to make you mad on Friday, pull your
it's all right.
chains. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
all right.
You know.
Okay.
All right, so what else can we talked about here? We don't went off of that. How much time we got?
We got some time.
Okay,
I
cool.
was
So,
mm-hmm. Go
mhm.
ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
you want to say something? Oh, okay.
No, no.
So I was strolling through a couple of my channels here and stuff, and I ran across Joe Rogan and Neil deGrasse Tyson um on a podcast, and he was touching on the UFO phenomenon that's going on, UIA or whatever they call it now, those new names they gave him and stuff. And Neil, he touched on some very good points about it because at first I was getting a little pissy because he was downgrading the UFOologists and making them feel like we're a bunch of tinfoil hat crazy people. But then he kind of broke it down a little bit more about what's going on and stuff like that. So it is safe to say that everybody who's at least paying attention, pilots, military, so forth and so forth, and even myself, um, has seen strange things in the sky that I cannot perceive, or anybody can't say, no, you know what, that wasn't made by a human, because I don't know any other inventions that human made that could do like that, like fly and drop and up and down everything. And so he said that it is safe to say that we don't know who's doing these things, but there's a good chance that it could be us. It could be our technology that we just don't know of yet. You know, so and my personal opinion on that is that if there are non-human entities of intelligence on this planet, my theory is that they've already been here, and they've been here for a very long time. They were left here. Um, and if a interstellar race of non-human beings, say 25 million light years away, they have technology that they can bend space and time and get here in like 7 days from 25 million light years away, whatever, go through a wormhole or use the sun as a portal. Um, and they come here, it would not be on good intention. Literally, I believe they would wipe us all off the planet, which would be hard to do. It
Hmm.
would be hard to do at all. I did a speech on how I did a thesis. I'm sorry, a thesis on how hard it is to wipe out the human race without causing mayhem, panic, damage to the planet. Because the question was, can another race of beings take over the planet without destroying it? Most people said no. They're coming with weapons we never heard of before. They'll do this and they'll do that and they'll burn things down. It would just destroying us will be able to have to destroy everything. cause mass floods or volcanoes to go off, something. It would be destructive. Well, I disagree. And he asked me why. I said, well, it's not hard to kill a human. It really isn't. Like, it is the easiest thing to do to kill, because there are 101 ways to kill a human. That's just by nature alone. You walk into the woods, everything there is designed to kill you. Everything. No joke. If you don't believe me, go to the middle of the woods and lay down for a while. You'll see watch what thought. But anyway, so I told him, I said, if I was an intelligent race of beings outside this planet, and I want to wipe out all the humans without destroying anything at all, without causing nobody panic or nothing, right? You know what I would do? I would create a bacteria, bacteria that would make every woman on this planet sterile. Every single woman of all ages, babies would be born sterile, unable to reproduce. 120 years, there would be no more humans on the planet.
But they've tried that.
Who tried that? Aliens or
They've
humans?
tried that in labs to sterilize women. That's not working.
They tried that. Who tried that?
They have tried in labs to sterilize women. That's not working.
I never heard of that.
Look it up.
Yeah. Let's say create a bacteria to sterilize every woman. They even had a movie about that. You remember the movie? No woman can have a baby till it cause the war, and the one girl had a baby in the middle of this war, and everybody stopped shooting. What was the name of the movie? I got to research that. When you said that, it just clicked up. I remember watching a movie like that.
Didn't work.
I gotta find that. But anyway, I'm researching that.
I truly believe that whatever is outside, that too, but whatever is outside of this universe don't want to come here no way. So I mean,
you're right. You're absolutely right.
For them, so
there's nothing here. They're like, we still burning fossil fuels and worry about what color our skins are. You know what I'm saying? We have no intelligence. They look down on that planet and go, yeah, there's nobody intelligent there. Look at them. They dropping bombs on their own people.
Mm-hmm.
Like us looking at the animal world. Like, you know what I mean?
It makes sense when they say, yes, God created other people outside of this universe. And they look at us. No, they can see us, but we can't see them. But they look at us like we crazy. Like, why don't we call on? Well, what I grew up with the quote of, why don't we call on the name of God? Like, do you know, basically, the power that you have if we meaning if we all worked collectively, the power that we could have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what does that mean when it said they can see us, but we can't see them? What does that mean? Like, they can detect us?
So, I don't want to say this wrong because I want to just say it in a way of how I perceived it when it was told to me. So, let's start at the beginning. We know that Lucifer, or the angel devil, fell. And he roamed the universe. Which now I'm learning it's more than one universe. So, but he roamed the universe, and Earth was the only planet that failed the test that he was given to every part of the universe, right? So, so I guess that would say maybe we're not the only human species, or maybe there's another, because we're called a species. That's an animal. That's what we call animal species. So maybe there's another type of species in the universe, and they can legitimately see us. Maybe they roam the universe and look through our little what is that, firmament, and see us and look at us like we crazy and keep on going about their day.
Yeah. Well, you also got to realize that some of the words that we use, like species, we gave that name to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But now they say, well, we're the most intelligent beings, on the planet, maybe in the universe. Well, we can't compare that to anything else, so we really can't even say that.
That's true.
So no.
About what we know, but you also know that you do know that there is intelligent people or whatever you want to call it. They get messages and let you know exactly
Yes.
what you are and who you are. So maybe somebody gave them that information, like, you're the most intelligent, or it could be what your theory is, nothing is good, and they just giving you some stuff because they want something. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Because they had this program. The CIA had a program where certain individuals can leave their body. It's called astral projection, and
mm-hmm,
put individuals in a dark room. And one gentleman I watched, he um went to the dark side of the moon, and he told them what was there. You know, he said that the thing about it is that when he astral project himself towards the moon, he accidentally went through their spaceship, landed into their spaceship, and he didn't mean to. He was trying to go around the moon, and when he stood up, the alien turned around and looked at him as if he could see him, and it scared him so bad he shot himself back to Earth. And he told the CIA that I was on my way to the dark side of the moon. I ran into the spaceship, and they're watching us. In fact, they can see us.
mm-hmm.
And he was trying to figure out how could these things see him, and and he's astral projecting himself, meaning he went there in a form of out of body experience. So
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't the only one that contested that. So and that's when it came up with the whole thing of watchers, the others, they're watching us. So I thought that was
Yeah,
very
but if we go with the theory that I was saying about the firmament, they belong here. They're supposed to be here. The moon and the sun is in the same firmament that we are. So
yeah,
nothing is actually leaving where we are.
yeah, yeah.
This is where I can understand the people saying that the devil is stuck here on earth. Now I can understand why they say that.
Yeah, yeah,
And if
definitely,
he's roaming
definitely.
our universe, then that means that from Mercury to Pluto or Nibiru or whatever else is out there is also in this same dome of the firmament. That's all.
Maybe the firmament's like really big because and now we have the Earth, right, and then we have the galaxy, and then in our little galaxy we have the let's see, the astral belt, which is between let's see, Jupiter, Mars, and then the astral belt to Jupiter. Okay, and then we have the Oort cloud, which is further out, which none of us can see. And then even past the Oort cloud, they said that it's like a bubble, like a big old bubble, and that we're
Mhm.
in. So, and that's by far because the Voyager 1 and 2, they should be right there at about the Oort cloud right about now. They were launched off when I was born, back in '69. I'm pretty sure they
Yeah, but
launched
if
them.
you go with Neil deGrasse Tyson's theory, they're nowhere but in Leo.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that
He
means
did
they
say that.
haven't really gone anywhere, really.
Right. Yeah, he did. He did say that and stuff. Let's see what else we get time. We still got good time, right?
Yeah, we still got time. Let's get
Okay, cool.
into let's get into I guess the main topic.
Okay.
Um let's start with, okay, so on this journey, right? When you first tried to help me on this journey that I'm going on or whatever, you told me to watch The Matrix, right?
Yes.
And it
Mhm.
was discussing about the red pill and the blue pill and how life's perception is not really what we think. So
Correct.
it got me to thinking about other movies and music that has different messages, and it's some are inspirational. And even though they're inspirational, they legitly have a message behind what you're just getting inspired by.
Yeah.
Even you can even say that about the Bible as well if you want to be technical, because like
Right.
the some of the things that Jesus said, if some of the things that he said in plain sight for, like, I guess I want to say the
Hmm.
average to understand, um I think for me that was just a mask. but the things that he spoke in parables were only for
Uh-huh.
those who are ready to open their eyes and their ears to really understand exactly what it is that he was saying, that they would
Right.
interpret it correctly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we have if you know anything about, we all learn about the industry and the Illuminati and everything like that, and what they're all about. Some there are a lot of subliminal messages in music, and some music that I think back in the day I used to listen to. I'm like, oh my god, you ever hear this song back in the day? You, as a kid, you sung it all the time, and your parents sing it. Then as you're an adult, you hear the song again, you realize that it was nothing about sex or something about drugs. It's like, oh my god, I used to think that when I was a kid. Um, yeah, and it always blew my mind. But then today's music and today's culture, it's more um, satanic, more subliminal messaging. We got Jay-Z with the Holy Grail. That's one of those type of songs that it's right out there in your face. If you watch the video, it's literally right in your face. We talk about Lil Wayne, what's that song? He was painting a mirror. Yeah, Mirror. The name of the song was called Mirror. And where he was depicted as Jesus hanging from the cross at the end of the song. Him and it was JC and not JC, I mean Lil Wayne and who's that song with him in that song? Was it who was that? Bruno Mars. It was Brent. So. Yeah, it was Bruno Mars and Lil Wayne and Bruno Mars. So yeah, so it was you can see the subliminal messages. And if you know, a lot of those songs deal with mirrors and water. The key factors in these songs. So I really got into it here about, my God, maybe 4 years, 5 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. Matter of fact, I remember calling you about this when I was sitting here. When a newly pop star at this time, her name was Ellie Goulding, just came out with a song called "Burn," and she's the one that was dating. I can't remember that guy. I'll remember his name. I remember it in a minute. Ed Sheeran. She dated Ed Sheeran at the time, or just started to date Ed Sheeran, because they made songs about each other. So anyway, so Ellie Goulding came up with a song called "Burn," right? So me, first time hearing the song. Listen to it, and Bob's like, I like this song. Kind of got a little beat to it, stuff, blasting it. So then it came on again, and I started paying attention to the lyrics, and I was like, "Whoa, this is interesting," So I kind of blew it off, like, okay, I can hear the message, whatever. And then maybe a week or two later, another pop star came out, but she wasn't as popular as Ellie Goulding. Her name was Alyssa. She was from like another European country or something like that. She came out a song called let's see, let me think about it. It was Burn and I can't think of the name of the song. I got it right in my head too. But anyway, she came up with a song that that kind of went with Ellie Goulding's song. You know what I mean? And there was all kinds of subliminal messages, and that's when I got with you and like, okay, let's dig into this a little bit, in the words, and then we branched off from there, but yeah, the music industry and the subliminal messages is there. A lot of people can hear it. Some people just blow it off, don't really care. Some people hear it, but they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to seem crazy, Hold on, man, I gotta get around this turn real quick. Anyway, so yeah, so I think that's very interesting and stuff, because it's all the same. Of course, the music industry's not cut out to be. I was sitting here watching Irv Gotti's documentary that he had on here YouTube the other day, and listening to him and what he went through in the industry, being framed and for things that he didn't even do because he just knew somebody, and that because Irv, he went against the grain a little bit, he wouldn't do things his way or no way. So they tried to lynch him and his brother, literally, and then we have Michael Jackson, we have Prince. They got him, it's just different things about the industry, not only the music industry, the acting too. the movies. You see the subliminal, like let's take The Simpsons for instance. The simple, with all that predictive programming.
Predictions, yeah.
Yep, the predictive program. Let's take that for a minute. We all know. Hey, we all know what television means, right?
Wow, yeah.
Tell
Tell
a
lies to
lie
your
to your
vision.
vision. I
But
love that.
you can't say though that they kind of speak some truth, because if you want to be technical, the Simpsons
Yeah,
haven't been wrong in their predictions as of what I know as of yet.
yeah. I've
So
not been wrong.
maybe I can't say that everything. I'm gonna say the things that the mass media wants us to watch, like what Donald Trump was saying, absolutely correct. The media is full of the news lies to you, absolutely, because everybody's watching it. Like, and
Yep.
if you want to be technical when it comes to the news, it pulls on your it pulls on you emotionally. And the reason why I say that is because you hear about death politics, something of a disease or something overseas that's just not right, and that's like for an hour straight. In the weather, that's like for an hour straight. So
Yep.
people are looking at the world through the eyes of the news, and it's just like, oh my goodness, I go out here, somebody's going to steal from me, I'm going to get this type of disease, I need to be protected from this, I need to do that, blah blah blah. So absolutely, you know what I'm saying, it tells you
Right.
lies. But then you have these different types of movies, like for instance, The Matrix or Prometheus or other things of the sort, where they tell us, oh, this is absolutely not true. But then you're looking at these things like, how is it not? So where did they get this imagination from? Because I've never had this type of imagination. And the things that they're talking about are so
Yes.
vivid to things that are in history, that are in books that we really don't read, or people, you know what I'm saying, don't know about. And you look at it and you're like, so you're telling me this isn't real, but somebody wrote about this. So what am I supposed to believe?
Right. Like the dragon. The dragon is written in every single religion around the world, but yet dragons don't exist. Okay. but it's literally China and some China cultures, they said that the dragon taught them. It was an educator. A dragon was an educator. Taught them how to read, write, and build things. And so yeah, it's just like, it's that dragons aren't real like unicorns, but yet we talk about it, and it's in everything that we do. Where did these stories come from? Who's the first person who made this up? Why? It's very, very
Check this out. For instance, like dinosaurs, we have dinosaur bones that's been coming up from people pulling them up all the time, but yet they didn't exist on Earth.
Right.
Or how about this one? How about the Earth? These people, scientists or whatever, that are doing different research and tell you, hey, this Earth has been here for such and such amount of years, but then we're believing, oh no, it's only existed for 10,000.
Right. Like, how old is the human race? 200, 600,000 years old? I think it's a lot older than that.
You really believe so? Because they say it's between 10. I'm gonna give it 10 to 6,000 years. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating that we've probably been around a lot longer. Why they would lie about stuff? Yeah, I don't know why they would lie about it. But then again, it's probably over some type of control. They want us to know what they teach us, and that's it.
And to me, and this is where I get my where you say you like to mess with me or whatever. This is where I get frustrated about, because it's like when you learning more, you realize how much more capable that you can be, or things that you can do. But because of the masses and things of that sort, you do have a pull on you where you can't even reach your full potential. And that's where the issue comes in at. Like, you want us to be separated for your power, when collectively this whole planet could be so much better.
Oh yeah. We ought to come together, put our heads together. We wouldn't need government. We wouldn't need police. We wouldn't need anything. We don't need anything at all. Our minds are very powerful, but yet, we're taught that we're just, we're not, and people believe it.
Hmm.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
I
Let me
don't
get around
know.
here.
It's just crazy because I mean, even when it comes to, let's just say the music aspect, and I know I keep saying I don't want to go into religion, but then I keep dibbling and dabbling into it. So I'm gonna just say this: growing up, we were told that we could not listen to secular music. That was the devil's music. Period.
Right, right,
Um, but then it's a contradiction when they say, but God loves music. This is why Lucifer was created to make music. Like it's
right,
therapeutic to the soul and blah 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 blah. How
right.
can you tell me which I get? Music can be used for good and it can also be used for evil. Definitely, we see this through the through the music that we hear. When you playing it backwards, different things that they're trying to do as far as possession and hypnosis, and through the album covers. I don't think we have album covers anymore, but like for instance, Bone Thugs and Harmony used to have an album cover. You put it in it looked crazy when you looked at it. Put it in the mirror, you read it, you can read it, what is it? How we
Yeah,
read, right to left to right, and you're casting a spell on you. So I get it. It can be used for good and it can also be used for evil, but you cannot tell me, you know what I'm saying, that all
exactly,
music is secular, is the devil's music when God
exactly.
created the devil in the first place.
It all boils down to the word. Our words are powerful, and we can manifest and destroy with our words. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And speaking about words, right? So I want our listeners to do a little thing and comment after you do this. I'd like for all my listeners, our listeners, to either go to Google or Siri and ask them this question: who is the most powerful doctor on the planet? All right, everybody, do that.
Please let us know your answer. Please
Please,
let us
please,
know what your
please.
answer is.
It's just a little Friday tidbit I want to throw out there. A little test for all the listeners. I want to see how many people listen to this podcast. So if you're listening, again, listen very carefully. Again, go to Google or Siri and ask them this question. The question is, who is the most powerful doctor on the planet?
Hmm.
Leave a comment in the comment section. I'm very interested to hear this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That ought to make your reality shake. It shook mine up a little bit. Like, what? Are
Yeah,
you
mine too. Like, how is that even possible? But when
right?
you guys
I'm a
see,
gynecologist.
you will definitely understand what we're saying.
Right.
Mm.
That means I'm a big gynecologist then. I'm most powerful gynecologist on the planet.
If that's what your word is, I'm just saying.
I ask Google. Google tell me I am.
Oh
God,
Lord.
how you hear this mess? It's got to
So,
be okay.
anything else that you wanted to talk about as far as these movies and music and anything else?
No, I just say most movies are document. Matrix. The Matrix was a documentary. It was an action movie. So just to put that out there, you know,
Documentary on what though? Like what exactly?
document on the it talks. Okay, so if you understood the actual meaning behind the meaning of what they're trying to say in the actual Matrix movie, it's actually a scientific fact. Okay, so let's do it like this. So when you look at something
No,
right
no,
now,
no, no. When you say documentary, this is why I
right?
asked that, right? This is why I say that, right? So
Huh?
there was actually what you would call a war, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Then
Okay.
what did that do with Matrix?
But I'm saying there was a war in the Matrix.
Yes, machines against the system, the actual system against the conscious being, the
Okay.
conscious being. That's what that was all about. Cause we're in the Matrix. We're in this Matrix system. Okay, there are bright minds around the world that's having a hard time proving that we're not in the Matrix system. And if you want to test yourself on this theory, then here's how you do it. So you're looking at something, you're touching something, right? How does look, seeing, touching are five senses? How do they work? So if you touch the counter, what happened is that the tip of your fingers have these nerves, right? Neurons that sends a signal to the brain. And then the brain interprets it, what are you touching, what you think you are touching. But are you actually touching that surface? Is it what it actually feels like? Because everything we do, everything we see, is we only can see it through electrical impulses that is sent to our brain, and our brain is processing this stuff.
So basically, you're trying to say that we're human computers.
We are. The brain is a Wi-Fi receiver. The heart is a very good information holder. This is why that's why the ancient ancestors, when they sacrifice a human to the gods, they cut out the heart, not the head. They would never sacrifice the head up to God. They always cut out the heart. Why is that? Because that's where the soul lives. Never die with a heavy heart. So it ain't the brain that holds all the information. It's your heart that holds all the information. And this is backed up by science too.
Okay.
It's backed up by science. So our brain is a Wi-Fi receiver. We are constantly sending out signals, and we're constantly receiving signals. Here's how you can prove that. So you ever get in your car, start it up, start singing a song, turn on your radio, the song's on the radio. It's because that your brain picked up the same RF signal that the radios get before you even turn the radio on. You already picking that signal up. Then when you turn the radio on, the radio as a receiver, a more powerful receiver, took that signal and there it is on the radio because it's being broadcast through the air as a frequency, energy, frequency, and vibration. So we are, and these are arguments that people were making, scientists and brainies people were making, that we're in a matrix because we cannot prove that everything we see, feel, taste, whatever, is what we actually are feeling. What we actually are feeling are electrical impulses that's being interpreted by our brain, telling us what we think we're feeling.
And so, how do we get out of? Well, we're never going to get out the matrix, but how do we?
Just go kill yourself.
There's a way to adjust this matrix that we're in.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the thing about the Matrix. They were explaining that. In the movie Matrix, they were explaining this. How do you escape the Matrix? Well, we got to let go of our five senses that we are all addicted to. I am addicted to feeling things. I am addicted to eating food. I am addicted to breathing, seeing. We're addicted to these five senses. We let these senses go, then we can really see. I mean, listen. If you don't speak, right, and you say something in your head, and you hear a voice, whether it's somebody else, who is that voice? Where is that voice? How is that happening? Because doesn't that defy all laws of physics? In order to make a sound, air must go through something, through the larynx of your throat, and everything to make sound, right? But if we're not using none of those physical things, we can still hear sound. So that means that we, you and I, and everybody else who's listening, are not really here. We're somewhere else. So we can hear ourselves talk somewhere else to ourselves. So I believe that it's very, very hard to prove that we're not in a matrix. It is too much evidence saying that we are. And you can do these simple tests. You don't have to be a brainy, smart person or a highly educated person to do these little tests. You sit home right now and do it yourself. Question everything. Like you bite, go get some candy and put it in your mouth and chew it. Like, damn, does this really taste like what I'm tasting? Because from the science that I know, it's just sending signals to my brain and telling me that this is sweet, this is sour. You know what I mean? This is hot. This is cold. This is what's affecting the flesh. But does it? If I take away those senses, like taking the taste buds out of your mouth, what does food taste like? You know what I mean? You just wipe all your taste buds off. What does your food taste like? What does your food taste like? So if you take off those senses that from feeling and seeing everything, what will we see? Most people say probably nothing. I beg to differ. Because we carry an electrical current in our bodies, ones and zeros. I think we'll see white light, static, particles. You know, we'll see energy, true energy. We'll see in every color spectrum. We only see in like 3% of the color spectrum. That's why we all believe that death doesn't exist, because we weren't dead before we were born, so we're not going to be dead when we die. At least the body. Where do we go? Where do we come from? These are questions. These I have. You're right, Dylan.
I don't know what you're talking about, but when I die, I'm gonna wait for Jesus to return so that I can get a new body.
Milk and honey.
I'm going to my mansion. That's where I'm going.
I ain't taking the milk and honey with me. I'm packing up my Pink Whitney and some Bud Light. We gonna go travel through the universe. That's right. Oh my God, this is too much.
I cannot with you. I cannot with you.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, hey, that's what people seem to think. Like, I just feel like we are light embodied in darkness, and it is a scientific fact though. When people die, they lose 23 to 32 ounces. Doesn't have anything to do with the fluid that you lost or anything like that. What is that?
Right. Because there's a scientist in China who invented a camera. Well, he modified his camera to take a picture of the soul as soon as somebody died, and he caught this. So I got to Google it and get his name and everything, and I will send you the link so we can post it on the what's wrong for everybody to find as well. But you can easily Google this stuff. I cannot remember it. I thought it was very interesting because I was watching some ghost hunter stuff, and I ran across his YouTube and how they explain about the scientist modified his camera to catch the soul. Which all you gotta do, we see 3% of the color spectrum. If this is why cameras and stuff catch spirits, because the equipment that we use to see other color spectrum could pick up other things. You know, this is why we can't see with our eyes. We can see, like you see a ghost, you take a picture and you see a ghost in a film, but you won't see it as you're taking a picture, because our eyes are again. Let's take this. But everything like that. Sorry about that, folks. I got my little boy Dylan with me today. And he's confused about something. So what else? What else are we going to talk about?
I don't know. Do you have anything else to discuss?
Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull something outside my brain. You know, that could be dangerous sometimes too.
I do know that for sure.
So okay, so we touched on a little bit of everything. Let's see. Let's talk about serial killers. Let's talk about serial killers.
Oh Lord, you're going dark.
Let's talk about serial. No, you want to go dark? Let's talk about something more interesting. Listen, let's talk about the deep dark web.
Let's cut Mr. and Lil off, because I mean,
y'all want to know the rabbit hole goes? It's deep.
Listen, so the whole point of this today, because we're about to cut Mr. and Lil off, the whole point of this today is to pay attention to your music or your movies. The movies sometimes tell you about the past, the present, and the future. Music you have to be careful with, because like they said, where God made good, he also made evil. So you have to be careful of what you listen to. Absolutely, for sure. But anything else, we would like you guys to comment, like, subscribe, share, join in on the conversation. If you have some topics that you want us to talk about, please let us know. We're here mostly Wednesdays and Fridays. Fridays is our main dig and dive into what we want to talk about for the world to know. Wednesdays is more general, but please join us again. Like, subscribe, share, and we love you all always. This is just our opinion, and we would love to hear from you about yours. Anything else, Enlil?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. And pay attention to your matrix that we're all in. Question everything, folks. You know, you people walk around here and they get these extra senses. They feel something strange or something weird happen and they dismiss it. Don't dismiss it. Question it. What is this I'm feeling? I walk into the room and it was cold in my room. Felt like a present was there. Question that because it could have been. You know, and don't be afraid of it. Explore your reality because it ain't real.
All righty. Anything else? We
No,
are out
hey,
of
hey,
here.
anything else
Bye.
you want to talk about, Brian? You want to talk about anything? No. How about the cat down the road? Cat down? Nope. We don't talk about nothing else. We good.
All righty. Bye.